We are reviewing for your inequalities quiz. You have a quiz on Monday and a test on Wednesday, so we are going to review. And yeah, last hour, some kids were like, yes, I could take this quiz right now and I'd probably get an A. And I believe them because I think you guys have done really well this week with the inequalities. Now, we're going to add to it and start doing two-step inequalities, distributive property inequalities, variables on both sides inequalities, and some of that in the next unit, which, okay, what are we at? May 1st. Yeah, so we're going to kind of step it up on the inequalities in the next 2 weeks, and then we'll just review for finals and we'll be done. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, I think we only have like 20 days of school left. So we are definitely on the home stretch, guys. You're going to have a section on your quiz and your test that tells you to take the sentence and write an inequality. You will also solve these. You're also going to solve these, but you do not have to graph them. All right, so if you can fit all three onto your whiteboards, go ahead and write all three of them. You probably could solve these mental math even too because they're just one step. That would be fine too on these statements. On the other ones, I do want to see your work. All right, so, oh, hold on. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. All right, so on the first one, what inequality did you write, Josh? Josh, what inequality did you write? Yes, less than or equal to 13, because if it's no more than, it cannot exceed or it cannot be greater than the other number, less than or equal to. X is going to be less than or equal to 8. You would subtract 5 from both sides. All right, 3 times the number is at least 12. Trey, what did you write for that statement?
3x is less than 12.
Less than or equal to 12. Oh, I forgot. I skipped down to number 3. Number 3, say it with me. X minus 5 is less than or equal to 3. And then, like Trey just said, 3x is greater than or equal to 12. I tried to put the wording on there that's maybe a little bit more encrypted. Like you have to, it doesn't just say greater than or less than. You have to know what those phrases mean. All right, you guys did a good job on that. All right, let's do the next ones. All right, one step. Go ahead and solve each of these one-step inequalities. On all of these, you're going to have to graph your solutions. All right, so let's work on that. What do I do to both sides of number 4? Add 5. X is less than 1. Open dot on 1. Arrow going left. All right, number 5, I would rewrite it. X plus 2 is less than negative 10. Remember, if it's closed off to the X, if it's pointing towards the X, when I rewrite it, it needs to be still pointing towards the side with X. What do I do to both sides to solve?
Subtract 2.
Minus 2. All right, open dot on negative 12, arrow going left. Who got both of those right? Going to get both right? Great job. All right, now number 6 and number 7. Three x is less than or equal to 27. Divide by 3. X is less than or equal to 9. I think, would y'all agree y'all are getting in the hang of the graphing? All right, we don't necessarily have to graph every single answer on the review, but on the quiz and the test, you will graph. So I didn't graph number 7. Now on number 7, if I had graphed it, would it be an open or closed dot? Open, an arrow going left or right? To the left. All right, next set. We're going to do 3 problems on this slide. What do I do to both sides on number 8? What do I do, guys? Just tell me.
Divide by negative 2.
Divide both sides by negative 2. And because you divided by a negative number was connected to x through multiplication or division, you reverse the inequality. And now it's less than and your arrow goes left. Your arrow goes left. Did you guys get that right? Okay. Number 9, because again, a negative number is connected to my variable through multiplication or division, I must do what to my symbol? Reverse it. I gotta reverse it. All right, so now it's, wait a second.
You didn't switch it.
I didn't. Very good. All right, so now I put it on my number line. And my arrow's going right. Okay, so just make sure you switch it. It doesn't matter if the negative's on the other side. If it's connected to the variable, though, I have to switch it. Okay, so the equations on your quiz, number 10, kind of shows you something that would be similar to your quiz. The equations on your quiz are going to have those variables on both sides of the equation that we practiced earlier in the unit. So I want you to go ahead and solve for x. Yes, good. Subtract 5x from both sides. Okay, you want to move the smaller of the two variables. And if you move your your smaller variable this way, which way is your number going to move? Guys, which way is your number going to move?
Oh.
To the left. Okay, so it's that swing motion. Add 40 to both sides, and now 20 equals 10x. Divide by 10. X equals 2.
Probably doing it
X
2-step.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine. I like doing everything in one step just because it's kind of like that swing motion, and you don't have to rewrite it. But if you rewrite it, that's fine.
I do
It's fine.
because I just feel like
You just see the step by step.
I'm doing it in the right steps.
Yeah, that's fine. Totally fine. All right. We should be all set.
That's it.
We have to check it.
Yep. Yeah, you can check it. You could plug 2 back in for x. And here, and when you subtract them out, negative 10 equals negative 10.
This is
So,
all we have to do for the quiz.
Yep. You do have a section on your quiz where you test solutions. So it says like t minus 3 is less than 10, and you have to say, I give you a value for 3, and you plug it in and say if it makes it true. You have a section like that. Yeah, that's it. All right.
Not that hard.